Good morning, meteorologist Jeff Gerber here. Over the next 10 minutes, we're going to take a look at what's going on weather-wise out there for today and through the next 7 days. Looks like we have a couple of chances of seeing some rain for us here in southeast Texas. Tropics are not completely quiet. There is something down in the Caribbean. We're going to take a look at that. Not too worried about that, but we'll look at that, and we'll just generally give you an overall look at the weather through the next 10 minutes. A nice, slow look at the weather so that you can see what's going on instead of the quick 2.5 to 3.5 minutes we usually get for a weather segment during a newscast. Rest of the day forecast calling for temperatures in the middle 80s for this afternoon. We'll eventually drop back into the lower 80s by 6 o'clock and then lower 70s by 10 o'clock, as we'll see mostly sunny skies out there. A couple of clouds here and there. We won't expect to see a whole lot. Matter of fact, right now we have clear skies across southeast Texas. Allergy report, they don't have the specific numbers on the allergy report, but they did give kind of a projection as we look at today's projection. It's low on tree, heavy on weed, low on grass, and then medium on mold. So they don't give these specific numbers. But I guess they didn't do the official count for today or something's going on. But yeah, they didn't give us specific numbers for today. All right, plenty of blue skies, southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana, across a good portion of the deep south. We're seeing skies just like this. Here's the view from Packard La Prairie, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network, currently showing 77 degrees. Packard La Prairie, humidity not low, it's 64%, so it's still a little stuffy out there. Winds are out of the east right now, southeast between about 5 and 10 miles per hour. So we're starting to see some of that moisture come in off the Gulf. And then eventually it looks like it's going to lead to maybe a few showers as we head towards tomorrow as a weak weather system moves through. As we look from our 12 News studio, we have a camera on our tower outside. We're pointed it northward, looking right up I-10 on our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. This camera is sponsored by Mid-County Plumbing. If you are heading out for lunch, it looks like roadways won't be too bad, at least right now. It looks like the traffic's fairly light on I-10 on this Monday on right outside the studio anyway, so getting around for lunchtime hopefully won't be a big problem out there. At least you don't have to worry about any active weather for today, as far as maybe any showers or anything like that. Definitely not in the forecast. You got to have a few clouds to get some showers, and we just don't have that in the forecast for today. Look at our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network over towards Lake Charles, Port of Lake Charles, City of Lake Charles, back behind that, looking pretty good across the area. All right, let's look at temperatures right now, and temperatures are warming up into the 70s. Kirbyville has updated at 75. Always say midday hours between 11 and 11:30, it's always behind, and then right at 11:30 or so it updates, and it has. 75 right now in Kirbyville if you're watching from there. 72 in Jasper, 74 in Woodville, 77 in Silsbee, and then around the triangle here, pretty uniform temperatures. Everybody's showing 78 degrees right now from Beaumont to Orange down towards Port Arthur. We'll continue to go up into the 80s for this afternoon. Here's a look at satellite and radar, and pretty quiet right now. You can see clear skies, but you notice these little milky white clouds developing off towards the south and west, and more clouds out towards West Texas. That's starting to move in our direction, so we'll deal with a little bit of cloud cover later on for today, but no rain. That will come as a weak weather system slides through tomorrow, and we're only going to go about 30%. So tomorrow, some places might pick up 1/10 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something like that. Not going to be a big deal for tomorrow, but it's beneficial rain. Any rain we can get, we need. We're seeing burn bans still in place across the entire area. No outdoor burning whatsoever. But if we can get some moisture, every little bit helps out. We're going to need at least 3 or 4 inches of rain or so before we could see maybe some of these burn bans lifted. Right now that's not in the cards, but we are, like I said, could pick up a little bit here and there. Around the rest of the country, like I said, you can see the deep south, really pretty quiet weather pattern. All the active weather is across the northern tier of the U.S. From really southern California through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, all the way over towards the southeastern U.S. Really not much going on. Then you go into the northern parts of the country. You can see a weather system trying to push into the Pacific Northwest. We have a front tracking through the northern plains with some strong thunderstorms up through parts of North Dakota into Minnesota for late this morning. And some of that stretching all the way back down into northern parts of, looks like Colorado, maybe Kansas, getting on some of those showers and thunderstorms later on this afternoon. See a little bit of a break through the Great Lakes, and then there's another weather system pushing through New England for this morning. You can see some pretty heavy rains coming in through parts of Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, looks like Maine, back into New York State there, Pennsylvania, seeing some rain and thunderstorms, as you can see a little bit of a swirl there with some active weather there. So northern part of the U.S., that's where most of the active weather is for today, while the southern half of the U.S. is very quiet. Let's look at our futurecast. Futurecast taking us up into the middle 80s for this afternoon, 84 to about 86. Plenty of sunshine. We'll drop back into the 70s for this evening, and we'll be in the 70s all evening long. So if you're out walking the dog, maybe exercising this evening, not too bad. And then overnight, we'll see temperatures, I think, dipping down a little bit lower than this. We're expecting to see some middle to upper 60s as we go through the overnight into tomorrow. Now here's a futurecast as we head towards tomorrow, starting to show maybe a couple of showers by lunchtime with that weak weather system moving through. And then you can see as we go towards the afternoon, that will eventually start to push down towards the south into the Gulf. And then we'll clear out by Tuesday evening. But a few showers here and there for tomorrow, 30% coverage, as we'll still see temperatures get pretty warm. We'll be up into the upper 80s tomorrow before that weak front pushes through, and we'll start to clear things out a little bit. As we take a look at our active weather out in the tropics, Atlantic's pretty quiet, Gulf is definitely quiet, but we have this little disturbance out in the Caribbean. Now this is the eastern Caribbean. You can see the islands right here on the east side of the Caribbean. And the cluster of showers and thunderstorms is going to slowly try to work their way off towards the west, and we'll have to see what happens. Right now the Hurricane Center says this has a good 50% chance over the next couple of days, maybe 80% chance of developing over the next 7 days. Now as it does make its way off towards the west, looks like maybe a couple of fronts or a couple of different weather systems try to pick this up and push it back out towards the northeast. At least that's what some of the models are showing. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, this is really far south in the Caribbean. We'll continue to track it and keep you updated, but we don't see any of the computer models indicating that this is going to come up into the northwestern Gulf at all. So something, like I said, we'll keep you updated on. Hurricane season does go until the end of November, and it's rare, but there have been a few hurricanes that have developed late in October. So we'll watch it. Like I said, I'm not too concerned about it, but we'll see if there is any development there. Our coastal marine forecast for today: a light chop on the lakes and bays, southeasterly winds of 10 to 15 knots, seas anywhere from about 2 to 3 feet. Next high tide is going to be late this afternoon, 4:32. Our sun sets at 6:40. Our sunrise was at 6:21. So days are getting shorter, and they'll continue to do that until we hit to the winter solstice, which is in December. Then the days start to get a little bit longer. Texas Point, southeasterly winds at 11 miles per hour. We're seeing gusts to about 16. Water temperature there at about 83 out into the Gulf. As we check today's forecast, mostly sunny. South winds at about 5 to 10 throughout the area, and we'll see those temperatures there into the middle 80s, 84, 85, maybe even 86 in a few spots. And then tonight we'll see temperatures dropping down into the middle to upper 60s. So I don't think we'll see too many 70s. We might see a couple of 70s south of I-10 towards the coast, but for the most part looks like a lot of middle to upper 60s with mostly clear skies. Our 7-day forecast: here's that weak weather system on Tuesday. We'll go 30% there. And then Wednesday and Thursday we'll go dry conditions. You notice we get up close to 90 tomorrow with that front coming through. And then behind that front, we do drop off some. We'll be back closer to normal. Normal being about 81. We'll be in the lower 80s there. And we'll see 62 for a low on Wednesday. And then we'll see some 50s on Thursday. Next weather system comes. We warm up a little bit on Friday to 85. And as it comes through on Saturday, a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms with that. Could be some heavy downpours, maybe a few thunderstorms there on Saturday as the front comes through. And then on Sunday, maybe a few showers early in the morning. They're not going to last all day. They're going to be early in the morning, and our morning lows start to drop back again, and we'll see those lower 80s as we go towards the weekend. If we can pull it up, we have a number I'm going to put on the bottom of the screen here, 409-749-9302. Of course, we're not always on television, and when we're not and you have a weather question, maybe you think of something about weather and you want somebody to answer a question about it, you can text us at that number, 409-749-9302. Now, you can't call the number. We don't answer the phone, but we'll definitely get back to you if you send us a question. I'll generally check the phone in the mornings. Patrick checks it in the evenings. Carrie's always kind of checking it as well. So remember that number. Write it down maybe. If you do have some weather questions, you can contact us and get those answered. Once again, appreciate you following us here on 12 News Plus, watching the streams. Hope you have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow morning.